Hey everybody, and we're back with the Horror Outcast podcast, episode 2. And of course, it's also not only that, but it's also 800 sub celebration. Of course, I just hit 800. I'm way to 900, and it's pretty awesome. Again, like I said, I'm kind of little guy, with the big everybody, in the YouTube community, big channels on there. So kind of slowly growing everything else. So it is pretty cool to get 800. And again, I appreciate each and every one of you guys who subscribe to me and of course watch my videos and everything like that. And I say I've seen like I'm doing something right. Everybody watches, everybody likes it. So it's pretty awesome. I really appreciate each and every one of you. But we're gonna go ahead and get into just kind of wait on the guests to show up. But again, like I said, we're doing Terrifier. Now I guess finally to see Terrifier 2. And I mean, man, Terrifier 2 was something else. And I was like, oh my God. It's like I wonder how they could top the first one. But I think they topped the first one, to be honest, with the second one. So I think it's pretty awesome. And like I said, I mean it is kind of gross when you watch it. I mean, oh my God, I was seeing, I was like, oh my God, ooh, man, some of the kills and some of the stuff that he was doing. I mean, oh my God. And that whole little dream sequence thing was like pretty funny, in my opinion. It was kind of like, oh my God, too, like with the serial. Ooh, I don't think so. We got our first chat of the night. Miss Shape says, hey, how's it going, Mrs. Shape? But like I said, kind of wait on that. I said we actually did today. I watched a video today with. Oh, there you go. Sorry, everybody. Looks like my thing is lagging for some reason. Let's see if I can get it closer to the box. I don't know. It's first kind of actually, it never happened. It's been happening a while, but it actually happened this bad. So, but again, as I was saying, we actually went to kind of went out, and I was do like a horror hunt, stuff like that, kind of see what I could find. And that one store off the wall, they actually a lot of like the bobbleheads, stuff like that. They had a nice trick or treat I kind of like to get, and they had like a whole bunch of stuff there, T-shirts, and I mean when it comes to other things, and one of my ways like a hippie, it's like a hippie kind of store, in a way they have like like swords and stuff, and incense and all this kind of stuff there. And then we went to what is it where else we go? I went to Hot Topic, went to Spencer a lot of stuff. And then, of course, that one comic book store, Killians, they got like a lot of stuff there. And a lot of the stuff's like, it's like resale. I mean, they got DVDs, games, they got a whole comic books, a whole bunch of stuff there. And I say you go and they pretty much, you could take your stuff there, trade and sell, pretty much over there. And again, they had like the Freddy, Michael, and Jason. Like, I think it's like animatronics, they actually had those there. Well, that's pretty cool. What else do they have? But last time they were there, they had I want to say the Halloween, I think it's like 112 or something like that. Halloween 12. Basically, a little Michael Myers figure. Actually, they just released Halloween 2 one. I think like last couple months, I think they released it. So yeah, they actually had that one there, but it was super expensive. I thought they might have it again, but they didn't have it. But they had like a couple other things there too. But again, it's like a comic book store, so a lot of superheroes, video game type things there, and not much like horror stuff. I mean, Spencer's kind of had a lot more horror stuff than those places. Then, of course, went to Target and Walmart again, man, and even the Best Buy. It's like every time when it's like before they had big stuff. They had a lot of stuff there. You can find pretty much anything. Now it's kind of like slowly dying down for some reason. I don't know really why it's dying down. But then again, I mean, it is what it is. But yeah. But anyways, while we're waiting for our guest to show up, I'm going to go and we'll go start talking about a little more Terrifier. Now I seen the first one actually. I didn't really know much about Terrifier. But to like the past year, I kind of found out about him, and we're like I'm talking about everything like that, and it's like who's Arthur Clown? What is Arthur Clown? And I think he's kind of be like kind of a Pennywise type thing, but actually wasn't. But I mean, technically he is like supernatural creature. But when I saw the first, so technically I watched All Hallows Eve first, and we first see Arthur Clown. And then of course, at the end of that with the kids, they're like, oh my god, what Art did. I'm like, oh my god, like, this is kind of gross. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I mean, I've seen a lot of horror films like that, but that kind of went over. And then I saw Terrifier, and then like even watching that one, I mean, he's creepy with his whole clown suit. I mean, he is this. I mean, oh man, it's like, oh crap. I mean, if I see somebody like that, I'm like, okay, I gotta keep an eye on you. Gotta watch you. But again, just seeing him walk around, and moving around, and everything else, I'm like, ooh man. But it was when it comes to the kills. I mean, the stuff that he was doing in the first one, I was like, man, this is kind of disgusting. Of course, he got that girl like upside down, with her legs spread, everything else. He's just sawing away, and I was like, oh my god. I mean, honestly, when you're sawing like that, I mean, there'll be no screaming towards the end. I mean, she should be already like, with the with so much pain, she'd be like passed out, pretty much dead. There'll be no screaming after that. No way. Not. I mean, because he's sawing down right there to all the way down. I was like, oh my god. And of course, when he kills that one lady, he's got basically her chest on him, where he's like dancing, he's got naked. So that was like, oh my god. Like the stuff he was doing was freaking sick. I mean, it was a good movie. But without further ado, guys, my guest has come on now. The other collaboration of the podcast, and y'all love him, and he is the Hell Master, coming straight from the Hell Zone, the one and only Helvington.
What's going on, everybody? How the hell are you? Shaping the shadow. Oh, sorry, shaping shadows. Yeah, okay, yeah.
How's it going, Helvington?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I'm ready for your celebration, your 800 sub celebration, and I'm ready for episode 2 of the Horror Outcast podcast.
Yes. And of course, basically Brittany is not here with us tonight. She's got some things going on tonight, family stuff. It is one more day, so it's that she's got some family stuff. So she couldn't make it tonight, but she's here in spirit. She's
of course.
So let's go ahead. I mean, I kind of talked about Terrifier, but go ahead and talk a little bit about Terrifier with us.
Okay. You want to go ahead and start off?
Yeah.
Okay. We're talking about Terrifier 1, Terrifier 2. We're talking about the combo.
We're doing the combo tonight.
Okay. So Terrifier 1. What can I say about that film? Well, everyone knows that Terrifier was birthed out of the movie All Hallows Eve. That was the first appearance of Art the Clown. And let me see if I can get a picture pulled up of Art the Clown here for a second while I talk about, let's see, Art the Clown, All Hallows Eve. All right, here we go. So let's pull this up. All right, so let's see. Okay. Present screen, share screen. Art the Clown. There we go. All right, so Art the Clown was first introduced to us in the film All Hallows Eve. I forgot what year it came out, but it was almost like Trick or Treat. If you guys have ever seen Trick or Treat, the film with Sam, it's kind of like one of those Halloween tales that you tell around. It wasn't really a serious movie, but Art the Clown got so much traction from that movie that Damon Leone actually decided, he was like, okay, let's give Art his own movie, in which that's where we got Terrifier, right? And for me, Terrifier is one of the better movies, slasher movies of the 2000s, right? That late 2000s. And to be honest, he's pretty fucking iconic. I mean, when you think of iconic serial killer clowns, you got, Art the Clown and you got Pennywise the Clown. There's some other ones you can throw in there, like Killjoy, if anyone knows who Killjoy is, but there's not that many clowns to put on the list. And for him to only have 2 movies, Terrifier 1 and Terrifier 2, and for him to be an icon from just those 2 movies, and to see how new those movies are and to see how iconic he is, it just goes to show the talent from David Howard Thornton and the creativity of the writing team and Damon Leone and the whole production team of Terrifier. To me, like I said, it's one of the most iconic films in the past, I want to say 10 to 20 years.
Yeah. like I said, when I first seen Terrifier, I didn't know what to expect.
Mm.
You know, I thought it was like a regular horror film, you know, and it's like, oh, that. But when I saw, because I watched All Hallows Eve first.
Yeah.
And then seeing that, and then seeing what happened at the end with the kids, and stuff, I was like, oh my God. So I wonder if this could be just like, I wonder if Terrifier could be somewhat similar. And then when I watched Terrifier, when I saw everything happen in Terrifier, I was like, oh my God. Like,
yeah.
What am I watching?
Yeah. And that's what I think that the beauty of Art the Clown is. It reminds us so much of the 80s, right? That shock value, a lot amount of blood, the overkills, right? That's why I feel like a lot of people like Art the Clown. And it's like you said in the first film, I mean, we're first introduced to Art the Clown, and he's like in the bathroom rubbing his own feces all over the wall. So it's like that's your first introduction to this man, and then throughout the movie, Terrifier 1, the kills keep getting better and better. And then you finally get that kill between him and the main final girl, one of the main final girls, or the final girl's best friend. And again, it's that iconic kill scene where he takes the saw and just saws her in half. And it's that grotesque, it's that shock value that keeps us coming back for more.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, especially when he like, you never seen that before, you know, he takes her up, you know, got a leg spray, everything else spray, you know, and he just going and tell, but he's just like funny when he does it, because of course this is all a joke to him. He's having fun, you know. He's got those looks, you know, with the smile, you know. He's like,
yeah, and it's like you don't know what you're getting yourself into. And what's I think is as well is awesome about Art the Clown, right? Is of course, you know, why do we love Pennywise the Clown? Well, it's because of how his one-liners, his dialogue with the kids of Derry, right? Yeah. But with Art the Clown, he's more of your mime kind of clown. He's not your circus clown. He's more of a mime kind of clown. And I think that brings terror within itself, right? It's one thing to, you know, be afraid of a clown because of what he's saying and what he's doing. But Art the Clown is purely, you're just terrified of him because you don't know what the fuck he's going to do next. It's not what he's going to say next that's terrifying. It's the fact you don't know what he's going to do next, right? And I think that's amazing.
Yeah, and he always carries around that garbage bag with all his goodies in there.
Yeah, I think that's really cool too. That's a really, you know, again, I'm gonna get this picture pulled up of Art the Clown while we talk about it. Another thing that we got to talk about, I feel like, is the look of Art the Clown. Like he has that iconic look. It is so iconic. Like, no, let me start get this. Let's see if I can get this. Here, okay. So stop screen, present, share. And then we'll do Art the Clown. All right. So that iconic look, it's the black and white mime kind of thing, right? And then you get the blood splatter all over him, and it's iconic. And like you said, the trash bag that he carries around with him with his goodies. He has his saw, he has his hammer, he has his ice pick, he has literally anything a killer would need. So I mean, I'm such a diehard Pennywise fan. Like I'm just a Pennywise stan. I love Tim Curry, love Bill Skarsgård, but in my opinion, David Howard Thornton might be just a tad. And when I say a tad, I mean a tad more. I want to say a little better when it comes to acting. Now I know that's a lot to say because we love Tim Curry, we love Bill Skarsgård, but if you've seen David Howard Thornton and the way he gets into character for, you know, Art the Clown, it's freaking terrifying. Like this man literally turns into a maniac clown, right? And I know Tim Curry and Bill Skarsgård, they do a wonderful performance, an amazing, a legendary performance as Pennywise.
Yeah. But
David Howard Thornton, he absolutely kills it as Art the Clown.
Yeah, no, when it comes to Pennywise, like Pennywise, he's funny, he's got his like one-liners, stuff like that, but he doesn't do anything like Art the Clown does with his victims.
Right.
And I think that's why Art the Clown is just more scary because, again, you know, they already said that, you know, he's pretty much supernatural in Terrifier 2. And, you know, of course, Pennywise, he is like a supernatural kind of creature, you know, from outer space, you know, as they say, you know, so he's got those where he can transform and stuff, everything else. But when it comes to him, he's more like you're like kind of like a regular guy, like out on the street, you know, he's not this creature, whatever, that only feeds on children with fear and everything else. This guy's like goes after adults. He goes after teens. He kind of goes after anybody and anybody he wants.
Right, and I think, like you said, that's what makes art a tad bit scarier. And while we're talking about these guys on screen, I'm gonna go ahead and pull this up. But what you said it perfectly, right? And I have these conversations with horror fans sometimes when it comes to Pennywise versus Art the Clown. And for me, I mean, it's really hard to say because, like you said, the more terrifying one is going to be Art the Clown because he's more realistic, right?
Yeah.
But when it comes to, I think the movie it's timeless. It is truly time. Now, can it be a hard watch for people if you're not into like long kind of miniseries? Yes, but that story, right, is so classic. Like you said, a supernatural space creature that comes to Derry, who's been living there for years, and he's been, tormenting the kids of Derry. It's like that story right there. It hooks me every time. And when it comes to Art the Clown, it's like I love the story in Terrifier 1. The story in Terrifier 2, I mean, it was good. It wasn't the best story, but I still respect it for what it was. But to me, you got to give it to Pennywise when it comes to the more, I guess, that's just my opinion. Like I love, and it's something else that makes me think that Pennywise is just a little, because we say Art is realistic, but he truly is. But we can say Pennywise is as well realistic because, as you know, Shape, back in the 80s and the 90s, right, you had John Wayne Gacy, who was Bozo the Clown. He was basically Bozo the Clown serial killer, right? And he killed a bunch of teenage boys. And that was terrifying, right? So when it came, Pennywise came, that's what made the terror a little more real, right? Because it was founded in some type of realness, right? Especially when Georgie goes against Pennywise the Clown, right? You can just see the resemblance to John Wayne Gacy, right? So it's a tough one, but I feel like this battle between Art the Clown and Pennywise, it will never be settled.
Yeah, and then Don Sinclair's in the chat says Art the Clown is a mimer and he shows his personality with no talking.
Yeah.
He also says, "Congrats on 800 subs." I appreciate it, Mr. Sinclair.
Yeah, you appreciate that executive hellhound, Dominic Sinclair. And Shape, before we get back on to Terrifier, I do want to say that 800 subscribers doing it the way you did it, that's amazing. That you did it the hard way. You didn't take any shortcuts. It was straight. I know how much time it comes into editing. I know how much time it comes into filming. I know how much time it comes into promoing, making your intros, and you have been doing that all by yourself, no help from day one. And as a content creator, I can only be proud of you, my brother, my executive hellhound. And if you're at 800, I promise you'll reach 1,000 in no time, especially with this spooky season coming up.
Oh yeah, a lot of Halloween hunts, a lot of stuff coming up too.
Yes, and I did enjoy your newest upload, the toy hunt, the Shape Family toy hunt.
Yes.
I love that gizmo that you got. That was a really cool gizmo, dude. I've been wanting to add a gizmo to my collection for sure.
Yeah, well, that's actually Baby Shapes.
Well, hey, tell Baby Shape I need to borrow that. But no, great video, man. Love seeing the family get involved in the toy hunt. And again, it's always good to see Shape out there in the hunt. It's all about the thrill of the hunt, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. Like I said, Spencer's had like the Helmet 3 blanket I kind of wanted. And then the off the wall place, that's actually like I kind of want to say like a hippie store, but they actually had like you seen like they had the bobbleheads like the Sam, they had Friday 13th, Friday Jason. I mean they had some shirts too in the back. They had some like a Myra shirts, some Chucky shirts, but they got a lot of stuff there. But when it comes to like mainly horror, I mean that's kind of like the majority of stuff they have for horror stuff.
And that's pretty awesome. I like that. I like that you have a venue like that around. So a lot of people, it's either Spirit of Halloween in October or nothing, right? Me and you, we actually have a local toy store or not toy store, but like a local store that does support horror. You know, it's not just mainly toys, like you said, but it supports horror, and that's pretty cool.
We got a little Joe in the chat. He also says, I think Pennywise is stronger than Art, but Art is scarier and more brutal.
I can dig that. I can definitely dig that. I mean, again, Art is just terrifying. It's that slasher, right? That guy that's next door, the killer next door, right? That's what we get with Art the Clown. But I'll never forget the scene in It, right, with Pennywise the Clown, played by Tim Curry, when he turned into that giant spider, dude, at the very end of the movie. I know, looking at it in hindsight with, you know, it's not that great of graphics, but for what that did to me, you, all the other horror fans growing, you know, coming up, it's something that I don't think happened in Terrifier. Yes, Terrifier has some really cool kills, but we didn't have that moment that me and you had when we were watching It for the first time and we seen Pennywise transform into a clown, into that giant spider. I mean, I remember I couldn't sleep. It gave me nightmares.
Yeah. Miss Chibble says, I'm not going to lie, I can't watch Art. Way too gory for my liking. Yeah, I mean, Terrifier is gory, but again, when you say like Pennywise, you'll transform into, you know, this big old spider at the end of the film. But the thing is if, you know, Pennywise or Art ever, you know, came across paths, right?
Right.
I mean, it's going to be, like I said, Pennywise is more for fear, right? He's, you know, he puts fear in you, you know, he feeds off your fear and everything else. But if ever it came to Art coming in with Pennywise, it'd be like very hard for Pennywise to even do anything to Art because Art doesn't talk. Right. He doesn't show no fear. And half the time he'll be just like,
yeah, he'll be laughing at you. And yeah, I can see that. But then again, what did you say earlier, Shape? Pennywise, he's from outer space. So that, I mean, it's kind of, like you said, I think it's really down the middle. It really is, because after seeing Terrifier 2, obviously, we figured out that Art the Clown is somewhat supernatural. Because if you got, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Terrifier 2, this man, Art the Clown, literally died. Should have died multiple fucking times, but apparently he's still alive.
Now, so I want to talk about that real quick.
Okay.
So, yeah, spoiler for anybody who has not seen Terrifier 2. At the end, the girl that's in the cell, is that the same girl from the first film?
No, it's not. No. Wait, are you talking about the one with the beat up face?
Yes.
Yes. That is the same girl from the first one. Yeah.
So she went crazy, and then she gave birth to pretty much Art's head.
Yeah, and that's where I was I got lost at that point in the movie. You know, I was down with, you know, Art the Clown and the ghost daughter, or the ghost, you know, kidnapped. I guess he kidnapped the little clown girl, whatever, whoever she is. But then again, she's not even really there. Like, we seen Art was talking to himself the whole time when it came to the little ghost. So there's a lot of questions in that movie. Like, you know, Sienna. How did Sienna turn into basically He-Man? She turned into Wonder Woman, He-Man. So I don't know. Maybe Terrifier 3 will answer some questions. But again, that's where it kind of, you lose me with Terrifier, you know, because it's like,
because with the whole Sienna thing, you know, her having that sword and the angel wings and being this warrior type get up she's got. But they keep hints about the father. The father, hey, you know, your dad always loved. They even say his dad loved Halloween. He loved so it's like, okay, so their father loves Halloween, whatever. But again, it's like, so. But why is it with the sword and everything else is like it's symbolizing to kill Art the Clown? You know, it's like you're the only person that can defeat Art the Clown because your father. And they kept saying like your father, you know, believes this and that. So it's kind of like, okay, well, is your father like the good spirit of Halloween, and Art's like the bad spirit? You know, I mean, what's going on there? Yeah, like I totally got lost with that whole
yeah, scene. And I, you know, a lot of people, I was talking to the wife, and just like Mrs. Shape, you know, Jasmine, she's seen a couple scenes from Terrifier, but she's not a fan of brutal horror movies like that. So, and you know, one of the things that she, you know, has said after watching a couple scenes from Terrifier 2, she just thinks that Damon Leone relies way too much on the shock factor, right? And he doesn't focus enough on the story at hand. And if you look at Terrifier 1, it was a really good story. It was simple. Two women that get caught up with Art the Clown. Very simple. But then it's like in Terrifier 2, they said, okay, we're going to throw the story out the window and focus just solely on the kills. And like you, I'm watching it, and within the first hour, I'm like, okay, what the fuck is going on? Why is Sienna connected to Art the Clown? Why is she the only one that can kill him? Why did she come back to life? Why is the little boy so obsessed with Art? Like, there was just so many questions that just weren't answered.
Yeah. Because it was just, to me, it just seemed like the movie was kind of all over the place. And you quite didn't know, like, what connects Sienna to this.
Yeah.
Or even the kid, because, but the kid himself, he's, like, super obsessed with, serial killers, and Art is a serial killer in the movie and stuff. So he's obsessed with him. He's even got a clown costume of Art and everything else. But now he's seeing Art. I mean, it just seems like him, Sienna, they're both connected to Art the Clown, because they're seeing Art, they're seeing the little Art clown girl, everywhere. So in a way, it just, they never fully explain, like, was their dad some kind of like being or something? Was their dad some kind of thing? Or like what is their connection? But it's totally never explained. Just kind of kept going. But even when we first see Art, after he killed that guy in the morgue and he's taking his eye out, he's like putting in his eyes like, oh.
Yeah.
And then he like walks away and leaves. And then he's in the laundry in the laundry place, and he's taking his clothes off, getting butt naked, right there, washing his clothes, and he's sitting there reading the paper. And then all of a sudden we see this little clown girl. Looks just like Art, and it's kind of like, well, what is she? Where does she come from? But then when you see at the end, like when she picked up Art's head, her eyes like glowed like yellow, right?
Yeah.
But then when you get to, but again, if you notice, she did cut her face all up.
Yeah.
Cut her face all up. But then when you see this woman in the asylum and her face all cut off, she gives birth to an Art's head. And she's, starts laughing. You see her one eye glow. So it's like, okay, well, is this like Art's like mother, or Art's like savior, or like what is she?
Right. And I did share, if you pull up the picture real quick, I do want to comment that the actress who played Sienna absolutely killed it. She was by far, her and David Howard Thornton's performance in Terrifier 2 was amazing. I love Sienna. She is, like, in my opinion, a really good final girl. Now, the story isn't like you said, it's all over the place. And if we can talk about the ghost girl, like you said, that moment when Art the Clown is undressing, a grown-ass man, right? We're about to get a little X-rated here. A grown-ass man is getting butt naked in a laundromat, and there's a little ghost clown girl, whatever she is, in the same laundromat watching him do this. It's that shock value, right? And I did notice in the movie that they did mention that the little girl may have been kidnapped earlier in like the 1950s or 40s or 60s or some bullshit like that, and that Art the Clown may have had something to do with it. But again, a lot of stuff just wasn't answered in the movie, and maybe the original script, maybe it answered a lot of stuff, but I think again, they focused way too much on the kills and not enough on the story. But you're right 100% about it's just all over the place, man. It's literally all over the place.
Yeah, but even though, man, I enjoyed Terrifier 2. I did enjoy like the whole Halloween aspect, the town's got, Halloween, they're all British stuff for Halloween, they got all this stuff. They even got like a little spirit store, kind of like ours, in a way.
Yeah.
And of course, Art's there, basically just messing with this girl, Sienna. She's standing at the counter, and he's like, blowing stuff and having this little fun. And he goes right next to her, it's like, and he's like, hey, and the guy's like, hey, man, why don't you leave her alone? Hey, we got a problem. He's like, hey, you gonna buy anything? And it's funny because he's taking all of these weapons out and everything else to put on top. And he's like, with the quarters.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that was pretty funny. I really enjoyed that scene. But again, Art the Clown has just, ever since his first appearance in, All Hallows Eve and, of course, Terrifier, and we got Terrifier 2, he's actually become, this basically another big horror icon.
He's an icon, yeah, for sure. Art the Clown, I mean, and for all the right reasons. I mean, let's just say, story aside, the movie is what a horror movie is supposed to be. That's why I love these movies, right? You have the blood, you have the guts, you have the killer, you have the final girl, you have good side characters, right? Especially in both Terrifier 1 and Terrifier 2. The final girl's best friend, I loved them to death. They were great, right? Even their boyfriends were pretty, or in the first one, she didn't have a boyfriend, but the boyfriend in the second one of the one girl, it was amazing. So like the cast is great, the lighting, the production is great. The only thing I think it lacks is a story. I think if art had a better story, like for instance, when we think of Pennywise the Clown, right? We think of a clown that goes after kids, who's space creature, or he's in the town of Derry because he wants revenge on the kids. Whatever story you want to go with, you have one. But it's like with Art the Clown, it's like, why do you like Art the Clown? Well, it's not. I like the kills. I like it's not. I like the design. It's because I like the story. But hopefully, Terrifier 3 it's not in production yet, but it is greenlit. Damon Leone said he is making another Terrifier 3. He doesn't know when he's going to start production, but he is going to make it because if I'm not mistaken, that was the first film by Blade Disgusting that just did amazing numbers. It just blew it out the water. I mean, opening weekend, Terrifier 2, I think the budget for the film was really low, and they made a really big profit off of it. So yes, we are getting a Terrifier 3.
Nice. Yes. But I mean, hopefully Terrifier 3 they'll actually talk more about the story too, with the kills and everything else. Kind of get that. But again, when it comes to David Hawthorne, I think David Hawthorne pretty much nailed the character of Art. And of course, with other characters he's been playing, I mean, he's played the Grinch, the mean one.
Yes, killed it. Absolutely killed it.
Yeah, so he's been. So I mean, he could be. He could probably continue as Art as many times they want to. But again, they don't always have to stick with. I mean, they can. When it comes to Art the Clown, they have All Hallows Eve, they have Terrifier and Terrifier 2, of course. Terrifier 2 and Terrifier, they're both connected. It's all continuous movie in a way.
Yeah.
Then we got Hallows Eve. That's like a whole different story. Now you can take Art and go anywhere you want. That's in a way, that's what's nice about Terrifier is that you have the first story, which was a good story. Then you got the second one, which didn't really involve not too much of a story, but more of like the kills and this and that. When you get to the third one, you can go anywhere you want to. I mean, that's what's the beauty about Terrifier. You can go anywhere you want to without really continuing a whole storyline. Like, again, you got Halloween, 20 different timelines. You got, in a way, you got Friday 13. It kind of continues a little bit, but then it kind of goes a little off the rails a little bit. Yeah. Nightmare on Elm Street, kind of same thing. It's continuous, but it goes off the rails a little bit. But then, again, when you come to Scream's timeline is totally continuous. So, again, you could just do the same thing with Terrifier. Just have Terrifier 1 and 2, this little story, and you go on to the next story with Art. Go anywhere you want to.
Yeah. And something that you said is, and it's crazy that you say it, right? But if you look at what they're doing with Pennywise the Clown, right? Pennywise had the first It, right, when it came back in the 90s. And then they had the reboot with It Chapter 1 and 2. And it was basically a remake of the original. But with what they're doing now with Pennywise, and I know you know this, Shape, they're making a Welcome to Derry spinoff, which it's going to dive deeper into how Pennywise came about in Derry, in the town of Derry, how the town of Derry, first had to deal with Pennywise the Clown. And I think that's exactly what Terrifier needs to do, because like you said, there are so many questions that they left unopened in Terrifier 2, as far as who is the ghost girl, the ghost clown girl, who is, why is Sienna, why is her bloodline, the one that's supposed to take out Art the Clown? Does Sienna's father does he have a past with Art the Clown? These are all questions that you can answer in Terrifier 3. And hopefully, like you said, you can still focus on the kills, but let's get more into that story. Let's clean this story up a little bit, because Art the Clown is already an icon because of the kills, right? I think that's mainly why he became an icon, was because of the kills and his performance. Yeah. So let's go ahead and make it a complete package with a really good story for him. I think that'd be perfect.
Let's see here. Two Boys and Their Scary Pop says, congrats on 800. And also, the Ninth Circle, he was in a short film.
Oh. Okay, I didn't know that. Is that like a short film?
I believe so, yes, a little short film. So I guess Art the Clown was in the ninth. Yeah, so you can look up like Ninth Circle. Look it up.
All right, let's check that out.
Thanks again, Two Boys and a Scary Pop. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, man. Let's see. Ninth Circle. Art the Clown.
Oh, hang on. The way he says 2009, he said.
Oh, I think this is it. He looked way different. No, this is All Hallows Eve. So he said it's 2009?
Yeah, he said 2009. He said the ninth Circle, he was in a short film 2009.
Yeah, right here. Let's see. It's on IMDb. It says a woman is abducted by a sinister stranger on Halloween night for a fate worse than death. Let's see if we can get a picture of.
Now, when it comes to Art the Clown, as you said, like All Hallows Eve is like the trick or treat type feel, right?
Yeah.
When it comes to that, with the short film of Trick or Treat that they made, like a little film they did, it was a cartoon, and you see Trick or Treat Sam carrying this, his knapsack, he carries around with him, when he's going to or candy trick or treating. But when the bad guy, basically comes and basically kidnaps kids and kills them, confronts Sam, he's about to kill him. Of course, Sam beats him up, and you see Sam just dragging that big old sack of the guy's body in it.
Yeah.
Wow. So in a way, it kind of reminds me of Terrifier, because he always has that sack, it carries around, that garbage bag carries around,
Right. And he attacks on Halloween as well, just like Sam. So here is what was it? Two guys and what was it?
Two Boys and Their Scary Pops.
Two Boys. My man's. Appreciate it. So I didn't know that he was actually in it. Look how different the look of Art the Clown is.
Yeah.
So we see what we're used to, but honestly, this version to me is a little scarier because
now is that David Howard Thornton?
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure. Let me see. Let me check the cast.
Nell said David Howard Thornton was a great interview as well, and he really dives into his character. Yeah,
so that one is not David Howard Thornton. This one is played by Mike Gallinelli. So, But yeah, I mean, I think this look of Art the Clown may be a little more sinister, only because to me, the more classic of a clown look you have, that's just always gonna be scary to me, right? And I know Art's new form that we see with David Howard Thornton, it's more serial killer type.
Yeah.
But this is really close to if you just seen a random clown on the street.
Oh, Mexicatel just said, guys, I just talked to Art the Clown in Messenger. Oh my god.
Oh man, congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. That's kind of scary too, man.
But Art the Clown again, 2009, and then that was the first time apparently. I never knew this. So 2009 was his first short. Then we had the 2013 All Hallows Eve. And then right after that, not even maybe a couple years, we had Terrifier. And now here we are, 2022, we got Terrifier 2. And in the future, we're going to get more Terrifier films. So, I mean, I hate to say it, Shake, but I feel like at this point, Art the Clown might be bigger than Pennywise the Clown.
I think so, but it all depends. I mean, because Pennywise has been around for a while, of course, with Stephen King and, of course, Pennywise. I mean, he's been around for a while. Art the Clown is just kind of, coming up. He's coming up, everything else. So he might be bigger than Pennywise, but again, Pennywise is in a way more well known. I mean, because you see a lot of merchandise for Pennywise than you do Art the Clown. I mean, you could kind of see some stuff Art the Clown here and there, like Trick or Treat Studios. They got the mask, they got the one scale figure. You might come across a little bit things of Art the Clown, but not as much as you see as Pennywise. I mean, you go to Spirit Halloween, you don't see much Art the Clown stuff in Spirit Halloween. You see a lot of Pennywise stuff there.
Yeah.
You go to any other store, during Halloween time, you got a lot more Pennywise than you do Art the Clown. But hopefully, in the next future, when we get Terrifier 3 and he becomes more bigger, we might get more Pennywise. I mean, more Art the Clown. But again, I think it's the way because Art the Clown is just because again, those are independent films and they have not really been in theaters. They've been select theaters. It's not being all around the world and stuff. So it's kind of hard to actually see more of the stuff. But if Terrifier 3 does come out and it's actually in theaters like a big budget film, then you can start seeing probably more Terrifier stuff being merchandised, being released, and everything.
And I think to piggyback off of what you said, again, that's why we need a story. Because we see the shock value, we see the kills, and that's still not enough to dethrone Pennywise. And Pennywise, again, he's been around for a long time, but he's only had 3 films. He's only had the 90s and the remake. And it's been probably 4 or 5 years since the last It came out. And since then, Terrifier's he's planning on making another film, and we don't know when. We don't even know if Pennywise is going to be in the new Welcome to Derry TV show or movie, whatever they're doing. We don't know, because we do know that they didn't ask Bill Skarsgård to come back as Pennywise, which, in my opinion, that is complete bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think of Pennywise, first you think of Tim Curry, but then you think of Bill Skarsgård. Who else is going to play Pennywise the fucking clown? I understand that they said the same thing when Bill came along, but I just don't know who's better than Bill.
Yeah. Bill's got the look.
Oh, yeah. Now, if you look at a close-up of Bill Skarsgård in his 20s and 30s versus Tim Curry, it's fucking identical when it comes to the eyes, the face structure. So it's like, I can see why they chose him, but it's like, who else is going to who? Yeah.
Two Boys in a Scary Pop also says we have our interview with him on the channel. Just FYI, I gotta check that out.
Oh, for sure. I heard Art the Clown. David Howard Thornton. He is a really cool guy. I haven't been able to get an interview with him, but I've seen a couple YouTubers being able to get interviews with him, and to see that he collabs with small YouTubers and big YouTubers, that's just amazing.
Yeah, maybe one day I'll hit him up, see if he want to come on the channel.
I mean, it wouldn't hurt. I have too much pride to be told no.
Well, I mean, he'll probably tell you no, but probably say, hey, can we schedule another time? Or what?
Like, nah. You told me no. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I'm gonna call Bill Skarsgård real quick. Hopefully he answers.
Bill Skarsgård will be like, no, definitely. He probably,
Tim Curry, can I talk to you?
Little Joey says art is not bigger than Pennywise. I'm sorry. The 2 in movies made $1 billion combined. Just the 2 new ones.
That is true. But again, I think that honestly, it's because again, David Leone, I feel like he's holding the franchise back. If Art has that story that like Pennywise, if he can have a good story, I feel like he would be on the way to being as big as Pennywise. The only thing holding Art back is he doesn't have a backstory.
Yeah. Did you freeze?
No, I'm good.
Yeah, but again, like as you said, though, I mean, even though Bill Skarsgård not going to be in Pennywise because I thought he was supposed to be come back as Pennywise in the series.
No, so this is what's been reported so far. So back, I want to say like 4 or 5 months ago, they interviewed Bill Skarsgård. He was doing an interview, and they asked him if he was excited for the Welcome to Derry series. And Bill Skarsgård went ahead and said, I don't know anything about it. And they was like, you haven't been offered to be Pennywise? He was like, nobody's offered me anything. He was like, I would love to at least help out if I can on set, or, whoever else is going to play Pennywise, if I can give him some pointers. But yeah, I'd love to be a part of it, but they haven't asked me to be a part of it. And from what I'm hearing, they went back and they offered him something. I don't know what they offered him, but they've offered him something. I don't know if Bill has accepted it yet. I'm pretty sure he hasn't accepted it. And if I'm right, I think I read the synopsis of what Welcome to Derry is going to be about, and it's going to be set in the 50s and 40s, and there's going to be a lot of social injustice involved in the TV series. So we're going to be dealing with, white America versus Black America, and I do know that the directors and creators and the writers of Welcome to Derry are African American. So, I mean, again, me personally, I don't want political stuff in my horror movies. That's not what I want. And the fact that they're going down this route, that they are going to do something political, and that they haven't even offered Pennywise or Bill Skarsgård a job to play the character that I'm not going to say he built the character, but he laid foundation for that character to be more iconic than he is. It's just not looking good, guys. It's not looking good.
Donnie's in chat says, just wanted to stop in live for the hospital bet and say congrats on 800. My guy Shape. Here's to much more, my friend. Once I get better, I will be back in living color. What's up, Helvington? Thanks again, Donnie. I really appreciate that, man. I hope you're doing good, man. Hope you get well soon, man. Again, appreciate you guys stopping by, man. Like I said, get better. And also, too, guys, if you guys have not checked out the video of top 3 favorite horror franchises, you can go check that out. Donnie's, we actually did a little collab together about that. And, of course, we gave our top 3 favorite horror franchise. So you want to go check that video out. It's out now.
Yeah, I got to check that out. I didn't get to check that one out. I was watching the Horror Hunt on my way back. And it's funny that it's not funny. It's not funny that Donnie's in the fucking hospital. But I just got back from the hospital, and I'm literally watching Shape's horror haul in the car. So I got to check out that new video because can I guess? Okay, Halloween. Friday the 13th?
Nope.
Okay. Nightmare on Elm Street? Yes. Okay. Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street. Scream?
Nope.
Fuck. Oh. Are we horror franchises?
Yeah. Well, for me, number three came to Evil Dead.
Oh wow.
And then number 2 was Nightmare on Elm Street. Then of course number 1 was Halloween.
Evil Dead. Okay, that Evil Dead's it's not a shocker because I know you like Evil Dead, but I mean it's a pretty consistent franchise. It doesn't have a bad film in it, so that's a pretty good pick.
Yeah, I love Evil Dead, man. But I mean, again, when it comes to Ash, man, Ash is just that freaking
Bruce Campbell, dude. I mean, come on, dude. He has to have one of the most iconic voices of all time. I wish he would do more voiceover work. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. But it's about that time. I'm going to actually wrap up a little early tonight, guys. It's a little early tonight. But again, I appreciate everybody coming on to live and in the chat, man. We really do appreciate each and every one of you guys. And again, appreciate everyone who subscribed. Again, 800. Again, when I first started the channel, back in 2019, I never thought that I would get anything remotely close to 100, subscribers or anything like that, But we're here right now. It's already 800. We're already like halfway 900. And again, I really appreciate each one of you guys. Again, as Helen said, this YouTube stuff is kind of hard. And you got thumbnails, editing videos, making stuff, just talking about things and everything else. And of course, sometimes you get a little scared. You get a little shy around the camera. When you first start. But you just kind of start growing with it. You start having fun with it. But again, as I always mentioned plenty of times, always have fun. I said, don't make it to where you want to, be this big YouTuber and make money and everything like that. You want to make sure you're still having fun and enjoying what you do.
Yes.
Because that's the most important thing. Because once you start worrying about, getting, monetized and everything else, then you've got to try to keep pumping out videos and keep that and everything else. And then you're going to start wearing yourself down. But again, just have fun with it. And again, 800 to me is like 800,000.
Dude, 800 to me is like 8 million. What are you talking about, dude? Like,
yeah.
Just the fact, and again, guys, you don't know how much Shape puts into this. Okay, Shape is what I love about Shape was he started off as a fan. He started this because he was a fan of horror. He loved horror. He never wanted to do this for a job. He just liked his collectibles. He liked his collection. He loves doing movie reviews. He loves talking movies. And the fact that he's reached 800 subscribers the hard way, not the easy way. He didn't buy his subscribers. He didn't, do any giveaway contests. He literally just brought himself to the table, and the people are rocking with it. And I can't. I'm jealous, dude. I'm really jealous about that because at the end of the day, I strive. What you said is perfect. Have fun, but at the same time, surround yourself with people who you love and who you care about. And I learned that from Shape that love has no limits, and no matter your nationality, your creed, your social background, whatever it is, this thing we call horror here, we gotta love each other because this is our getaway. I know me and Shape talk all the time. If we're having a bad week at work or we're having a bad week, what do? We run home, we turn on Halloween 6, not H2O. And we have a good time. We watch the movie and we talk to each other about the movies. And, I'm going to do better because I have so much on my plate when it comes to watch parties and reviews and collaborations and giveaways. But I promise to everybody in the shadows that the Shadows and the Hell Zone is going to collaborate more than we've ever fucking collaborated in ever. The collaboration is going to be crazy. We have so much stuff in store for you guys. Shape in the Shadow is literally one of our first executive hellhounds. And the fact that he has reached 800 subscribers, I, for one, I can't believe it, bro. You're almost to 1,000. I'm going to get you to 1,000. The Hellions from all over the world will get you to 1,000. And I'm just proud of you, brother. I really am proud of you.
I appreciate that. And again, guys, you have anything that you want to throw out there? Just go come on your channel. Anything coming up?
Just come to the Hell Zone on Instagram at Helvington YT. We have some more movie reviews coming out. We got some gameplay coming out. Shape in the Shadows and I are planning on a Dead by Daylight stream together. So we're going to play Dead by Daylight together on Instagram Live. So a bunch of fun stuff happening in the Hell Zone. And like I said, if you love Shape in the Shadows here on YouTube, you're going to see a lot more of him over on the Helvington Instagram and the Helvington YouTube. He is literally going to be my co-host there. We have segments coming up for Shape. So, guys, do me a favor. Come over to the Hell Zone. Join me in Shape in the Shadows as we take over Instagram. And it's going to be a great time.
Yes, it will. And again, like I said, please go subscribe to him on his YouTube channel and, of course, over on Instagram. And, of course, don't forget also, too, subscribe to Donnie on his YouTube channel and follow him on Instagram. And, of course, basically Brittany on her YouTube channel and her Instagram.
Yes.
But, again, everybody, thank you all for coming, my friends in the shadows. And always remember, the Shape is always in the shadows.
Get me the hell out of here. I got to go.
Get out of here. All right. You guys all have a good night.
Peace. Love you guys.